Hello, my name is James Louviere. I call myself DrHanzonScience, Hanzon, because I spent a lot of years teaching kids to use their hands to learn science. I also spent a lot of years teaching people to communicate in English composition for the University of Maryland and in public speaking for Maryland and some other schools. And I did a lot of that when I was overseas, serving with the Department of Defense dependent schools in Germany for 20 years. I retired in 1995 and went to LSU to coordinate their LSU/NSF physical science grant. But enough of that foolishness. That's why they call me Dr. Hands-on Science. The reason I'm addressing you is I helped a young lady in Thailand who was a doctoral candidate. She was writing her dissertation, and it was about intergenerational justice and the theory of law, according to a fellow named John Rawls, who was a Harvard professor. Now, John Rawls wrote a book called A Theory of Justice, and in there he makes a small mention of something called the just savings principle. And what it means basically is that we're supposed to provide a legacy for generations to come. Institutions, buildings, money, so forth, that will help them to establish themselves on this earth and live a decent life. And among the problems that trouble that legacy at this time are things like terrorism, which is basically fueled by injustice or feelings of injustice, irrational or irresponsible spending, indebtedness by nations, great and small. And the third problem was the environment. And as a result of discussion with this young lady and with some of my friends who were on the faculty of Assumption University, where I was working in Thailand, the young lady and I both decided to study environmental science at Harvard. So when she got her doctor's degree with the highest honors, I accompanied her to Harvard, and we both sat in a course offered by Tim Weiskell and Bill Moomaw, distinguished professors at Harvard and Tufts. And we both profited a great deal. The young lady decided to go into business for herself, and she's doing a fine job with that. But as for myself, I volunteered first to help edit climateethics.org, which is about the law and international justice and so forth, ethics of climate change. And then I began writing music starting in January. I hadn't written music or had a guitar since leaving Thailand in 2008, January. But I bought a guitar and I started writing music again and posting it on YouTube. And then the idea came to me, you know, music is a universal language. And if I can enlist other musicians to join me in writing music that's designed to uplift the human spirit and lead society to do better things and to be more tolerant, more just, we might be able to leverage the earth just a little bit, leveraging the human soul and mind and consciousness and feelings and actions toward a more positive approach to one another and to the earth itself. And this may be the last decade in which we can do something positive about the environment, for example. And there are really serious reasons to believe. And I'm not some kind of fanatic or chicken little, but there are serious reasons, which I can enumerate for anybody who wants to know. There's serious reasons to worry about the survival of about 80% of the species of animals and plants alive on Earth today. They may be extinct, certainly in 100 years. And one of the endangered species is humanity itself, Homo sapiens. I don't want to get into a discussion of why global climate changes are happening, or whose fault it is, or if it's a natural phenomenon. I'm not interested in that. I have the scientific answers from the highest authorities and from my own studies, but I'm not going to debate what's happening. I'm just going to say we have some terrible problems. Terrorism, injustice, irresponsible spending, and climate change. And all of those are going to create a terrible legacy for people born in 20 years, 30 years from now, 50 years from now. If there are any human beings left, and I'm not just being a gloom and doom prophet. I'm seriously concerned about what's happening. But if you can buy into at least 1% of the things that concern me, then I'm asking you, if you're a musician, or if you have any way of influencing musicians, I'm asking you to join with me in trying to elevate the quality of music, elevate the messages that we're sending out in music, and move the whole music establishment just a little closer, a nanometer, the tiniest imaginable amount, toward positive. If you believe in that, then I want you to go to http://BOSTONMUSICIANSCOOP.com. I'm starting this website for two reasons. One is I'm desperately short of funds, and I want to continue the important work that I'm doing. So I need to raise some money. I am not a nonprofit. I need to make a profit. The second reason is I want to elevate the earth. I want to do my little part in the few years that I may have left on this earth to create a situation where my grandchildren and their children can have a decent legacy and survive. And I want this beautiful planet, which is our home planet after all, it's Mother Earth to us. I want this planet to survive as much as possible like it is today, because today is a very good situation for people, although it's tending to become unlivable, or at least terribly uncomfortable. But I want to try to preserve this beautiful blue planet with all my efforts, and I hope I can recruit you and your friends. And I won't be, I'm not a Messiah type guy to come down and change the world, but I believe that one person has to step forward. One person has to exert leadership. And the other people will understand that. They'll sense the importance of it, and they'll follow. And I want to do that. I want to be the leader for this. I'm not an egoist. I'm not at all. But I want you to follow me in the direction that's going to lead to a better life in the future. And I want you to contact all your friends through Twitter and MySpace and Facebook and Plaxo and whatever else you have to contact people. Please use those social networks and bring them to me at BOSTONMUSICIANSCOOP.com. It's not an ORD, it's a COM, commercial. If we can do that, it's a good start. I want to go beyond that to link up really successful, well-known, powerful musicians and artists of other types, perhaps. But right now I'm in music. Move the whole artistic community toward a more positive attitude. I feel this deeply in my heart. And if you've seen my music on YouTube, you know I have a tender heart. And I have deep feelings. And I deeply would appreciate your help. Pardon me while I turn off the machine.